Here, there's virtually no water at all.
So it seems, really.
The blue whale! Today is my 89th birthday, and to my very considerable surprise, I find myself in a place that I've never been to before, and which it is a great, great privilege to visit. The White House. Mr. President, this is a great honor.
It is my honor. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time. Come on, baby. I grew up on some of your programming. And,
really?
Of course. And since I grew up in Hawaii,
what a great place to go.
I had a natural affinity for the outdoors and an appreciation.
A lot of underwater swimming?
Oh, yes. Let me backtrack for a second. How did you get interested in nature and wanting to record it? When you think back after this storied career, what is it that led you to such a deep fascination with how the natural world works?
Well, I've never met a child
who's not fascinated,
who's not interested in natural history. So, just the simplest thing, a 5-year-old turning over a stone and seeing a slug, and says, "What a treasure! How does it live? What are those things on the front?" Kids love it. Yeah. Kids understand the natural world and are fascinated by it. So the question is, how did you lose it? How did anyone lose the interest in nature? Yeah. And certainly I never lost it.
Yeah.
But if you do lose it, and I imagine there are lots of other attractions that can divert your attention, you've lost a very, very great treasure.
Growing up in Hawaii, it was one of the things that taught me not only to appreciate nature, but also that you had to care for it. And because we spent so much time outside, and I think there was part of the native Hawaiian culture that is true of many native cultures, the sense of needing to care for the environment that you're in, that sometimes we lose when we live in big cities. The interesting thing is, though, my daughters, I find Malia and Sasha, they're 16 and 13 now, they're much more environmentally aware, this generation, than I think some previous generations. They do not dispute, for example, the science around climate change.
No.
They think it's self-apparent that we've got a problem and that we should be doing something about it.
I absolutely agree. Certainly the letters I get, they bring tears to the eyes from kids of all ages. And the young people, they care. They know that this is the world that they're going to grow up in and they're going to spend the rest of their lives in. Right. But I think it's more idealistic than that. They actually believe that human species, has no right to destroy and despoil regardless. Right. They actually feel that very powerfully.
They do. What do you think are some of the most stubborn misconceptions about nature that lead us not always to get out in front of these problems?
I think what is required is an understanding and a gut feeling that you understand that the natural world is part of your inheritance. Right. This is the planet on which we live. It's the only one we've got, and we've got to protect it. And people do feel that deeply and instinctively. And it is, after all, the natural world is where you go in moments of celebration and in moments of grief. It is the greatest prop and stay to humanity's own feeling for itself, herself, ourself.
No, well, if you think about, in all the world's religions, when you're seeking wisdom, you're seeking to hear God. You're in the desert, or you go to great waters, or you go up to great mountain peaks. Recapturing that sense of wonder and the amazement of the natural world and its powers. That's what speaks to what's deepest in us. And what's critically important is making sure that we're passing that on to future generations. You and I, we've been blessed to be able to see it and experience it and be moved by it. And I want to make sure that my daughters and their children are experiencing that same thing.